Everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley Griffin, a Broadway performer, writer, and theater journalist. If you're new here, hello, welcome. Don't forget you can click the subscribe button for more content from your Theatrical Hermione Granger. So let's get started. So this is a companion piece to my video about how to do stage makeup. And this is about how to put your hair in pin curls under a wig cap, specifically for people with very long hair. This is something I get asked about all the time, especially in my production of Hamlet. I had all of this hair underneath a basically boys cut wig, and people always ask me how I did. So this is how to do it. So let's start with the basics. This is a lovely wig cap. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar, but these are what you put over your hair, between your hair and a wig if you're wearing your wig in a show. You can get them in different colors. So this is a neutral one. If you want to go neutral, you want to get something that matches your skin tone, or not matches, obviously this is not match, but is closest to your skin tone, not to your hair color. Because if, for example, if I'm wearing a platinum blonde wig and it starts to ride up, you want this to make it seem like your skin keeps going and you don't see your hairline underneath it. If you're wearing a wig that is a darker color than your normal hair, you want to get something that is a darker color, so it can also sort of extend the line. So if you're familiar with pin curling, normally what people do with pin curls is some variation of taking their hair, taking their fingers and sort of wrapping it and then pinning it to the side of their head, sort of like that, which is normally great and fine. But as you can see, for really long hair, it goes out. And the idea of keeping your hair in a wig cap under a wig is that you want to keep your scalp as flat as possible, so it looks like it's actually hair on your head. If my hair is going out to here and then the wig's on top of that, it's going to make me look like I have a really big, odd alien head, and you don't want that. So that is the challenge when you have really long hair. You stick it on the side of your head and it's really thick. So this is what I do for my really long hair. This is where I normally part my hair. So I leave the part just like that. I also naturally have very wavy, curly, more wavy, but wavy curly hair. And I also tend to frizz easily. So washing my hair and getting it to look okay is a whole process. Keeping it straight, especially when you're going under a wig cap, is easier for me. So I want to try to keep my hair as calm as possible, because if you do it right, your hair can look lovely and smooth after you take it out of a wig cap, or it can look crazy and with like lines in it and a little frizzy. So I try to keep it as nice as I can underneath the wig cap, so I look okay when I don't have my hair in a wig cap. So I'll keep the part where I normally part it. I'll usually start with this side, and this is the secret that I have found. You want to take a chunk. You can actually take a thicker chunk. I'll take this because it's sort of naturally where my hair wants to go anyway. Try to smooth it out a little bit. And then what you want to do, instead of rolling into a pin curl, like right there, what I do is I take it and I wrap it all the way around the back of my head. So by the time it gets here, there's obviously a lot less. It's hard. I've never really demonstrated this before. And then I'll sort of pin curl it there. Take some the thin bobby pins and I'll pin it to my head. Here, with lockdown and everything, it's been a while since I've done this. And you want to sort of get it from all sides. You do not want to rely on your wig cap to keep your hair flat and underneath it. It does poof up a little bit, but you can put pins in there. You want to rely on the pins to do that. I'm also a dancer, and wearing a wig as a dancer is a whole other thing. So you want to make sure your hair is absolutely as secure and stable as possible. So lots of pins is great. So if you want to see it from the back, it looks like this. It's just wrapped all the way around like that. And any little things like this you can fix later. So then I will take hair from the opposite side. So it's the side that I just did the pin curl on, but the opposite side from where I pulled it back from. And take another big chunk. Even though I have really thick hair, I managed to usually do this in about 3 or 4 strands. So then I'm going to do the same thing on this, and I'm just going to pull it all the way over my hair here. And I'm just going to do a little roll right up here and pull it sort of as taut as you can. And then I start to pin in here. And I get it from all sides. Yeah. And as you can see, sometimes this happens where it starts to fall there, and you can just pull it up again. And pin it however you need to. And then you can get this flat again. So you want it to be secure, but the nice thing is you don't pin that again. It doesn't have to look good. No one's going to see this. And especially when you have really long hair, there's no way that you can get it just completely flat. So you just sort of want to do the best you can. And the wig cap will hold it more flat underneath, which is good. So then I will take this. So this at this point, this looks like this in the back. So at this point, I have 1 strand left, and I will take this one sort of straight up and over, and I will put it kind of right-ish on the top of my head right here. And you can also move this around to wherever is going to be easiest for you to stick it. And if you have a mic pack, wherever it's not going to interfere with the mic pack, because a lot of times your mic comes up and over and will sit right here. And a lot of times it goes under the wig cap too. So, and then you want to pin this in. I know it looks really weird right now. That's okay. To paraphrase Julia Child, when you're alone in the dressing room, who's to know? You want to also make sure that you're pinning the large sections of your hair. So I'm going to support this back here by just doing a couple pins anywhere that it feels a little loose. And again, you don't really have to worry about loose strands of hair. The important thing is you can see that my head looks pretty flat, and that's the most important thing. So if I was going to be in this for a 2-show day, I might clean up some of these strands, and I would probably pin them in a little bit more. But you definitely want to pin it in enough so that you can move your head around and not feel like it's all going to come down. Again, you want to rely on your pins. You don't want to rely on the wig cap. So I'm going to take this one. It's really soft, so I'll pick this one. If you have a hair person working on your show, they'll help you with this, but the trick is you want to stretch it as much as you can. If you're doing this with somebody else, you want to hold the front of it. They will hold the back, and then you can pull it on. But if you're doing it alone, you sort of stretch it as much as you can. You put it back and make sure you get it under your hair, push it into your head, and then just lay it flat right on top. And like I said in my previous video, I will normally do this before I do my makeup because, as you can see, it's leaving me a great neutral palette with no hair in my way to do my makeup. So once this is on, make sure you really tuck any loose strands underneath, and especially right at the nape of your neck. You want to make sure that all of this is really tucked under and get it all in really good back there. And then slide the wig cap back so that it's just in front of your hairline. You don't want it too low on your forehead, and if it's too far back, your hair is going to show. So as you can see, this is getting my hair pretty flat. My head's pretty flat. Certainly much more than it would be if I did pin curls the normal way. Now, the other thing is make sure you pin your wig cap. First of all, it's to make sure the wig cap stays in place, but it's also a way to make sure little wispies don't fly out of your wig. So I always put one right here. I have some cowlick, so I put one right at that cowlick. And I put one at this cowlick. You can see you get some of these out. I put one right at the nape of my neck. Right back there. You can also stick the pins into the wig cap if you want. And I also always put one right here, and it sort of keeps the wig cap from slowly sliding back. So there, and it's all good. It's all good to go. You can hairspray some of these wispies too if you want, and just really keep tucking them under. But then what you do is then you put the wig on top of this, and then you pin the wig to within an inch of its life. So you have 3 layers of pins holding it in place. And it's great, good to go. Make sure you do a bunch of this will be a GIF. Do a bunch of this. Make sure nothing's going anywhere. I have seen wigs fly off, especially when dancing. It's not fun. And this is good, and it's solid. I also, just like if I can leave my makeup on, I tend to do that. I will usually leave my wig cap on between shows. I know I might look a little silly, but I find that for my hair, once I've done something to it, if I can just leave it there, it'll get less messy. And also you don't have to worry about doing this again. So those are my tips for doing pin curls with crazy long hair.